Hello everyone, welcome to BATV Fan Doosra show powered by Paytm First Games. Everyone's disappointed because our toss हार गए. We had a lot of discussion to do, but I'll just start off right over here. Ahan, playing 11 में जो changes है, what's your take on that?
I think one is forced, so it's fine if Kishan is coming in. But apparently the news is that he's going to open the batting. I don't understand that. In a high pressure knockout game, you're going to break up your most your established opening partnership and make one of them bat where they haven't batted in years. I can't remember the last time Rahul or Rohit batted outside opening in a T20 game, maybe 2-3 years ago. So I'm a bit confused why you're doing that suddenly in the last minute on like the day of a game. So hopefully it works out. I mean, Kishan opening is a good thing, but the fact that they're splitting the opening partnership and making them bat out of position,
Okay.
fingers crossed. Let's see. But we've got good batting depth today because Shardul is at 8, so it's good.
Yeah. Naresh, happy with the changes? Shardul in and Ishan as well.
Shardul should have been starting off even last Sunday. I'm not in favor of all the three seamers start off. Bumrah, Shami, and Bhuvi. But that's what we went with. That we went with experience against Pakistan. It didn't work in our favor. So I think this change is fine. Shardul, he did well in the second leg of IPL, and that is why he got a call up from the reserves into the playing 15. But on Ishan's point, I think there is no other position he could play. He struggled at number 4 for Mumbai. He's there as a backup opener. So whatever the changes, KL Rahul is in form of his life, so he's expected now to score in any position. So probably he's put his hand up to say, okay, let's make these changes and I'll go down. Probably, we don't know.
Fair enough. One I've got a question for you, but I think Akshat has a better one. When will Kohli start winning the toss? It's high time. मैच ठीक है, आईसीसी ट्रॉफी ठीक है. टॉस कब जीतोगे?
पूछ के आती हूँ मैं कोहली से क्योंकि even I don't know. So the day he wins the toss, we lose the game, and that's what we expected, that Kohli toss में जीतना बस match जीत जाना.
Yeah.
But then now we are losing the toss, and hopefully we win the match. That's what we want today. But again, toss is not in our hand. मतलब हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. अब toss coin अब हमारे favor में नहीं है, तो what can we do? So let's hope that we win the match instead of talking about toss now.
Fair enough.
हम लोग लास्ट मैच एक साल पहले खेले थे, ऐसे मुझे लग रहा था अभी.
Seriously, it feels so long.
वही मैं सोच रही थी ये शो के पहले मैंने लास्ट शो कब किया था इंडिया पाकिस्तान वाला.
The last time India played in the World Cup, Facebook was not. Meta was not Facebook.
It has been a long
But
time.
Kunal, we need to take it in the positive. Will this break help us? Because it was quite an embarrassing loss. We were outplayed. You know what happened to KKR when they got a 4-month break? So can we kind of replicate that? After a week's gap and come back all fresh, forgetting that. And it's just one game we played. If you see, we have played only one game in the World Cup and we have lost. So can we leave that behind and focus on winning the remaining? Because if you remember, Adelaide we lost and what we did after that. So let's take it in that sense. Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Vanata, are you raising your hand? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so for us, it should be someone like Venkatesh Iyer to carry on from here. That's when the KKR was
Maybe Ishan does it. Maybe Ishan does it today. Yeah.
We don't know, maybe, yeah.
So I think the stage is set very perfectly because after the first, before the tournament started, we were like, कि favorites है, काफी अच्छा team on paper. When we lost the first match, we were like, यार ये लोग क्या करेंगे? Right now, we've lost the toss. We're up against New Zealand in a virtual quarterfinal. And Richard Kettlebro is the umpire. So the odds are perfectly stacked up against us. If we win from this point, Ahan, we really deserve to be the champions this year. Correct?
ट्रॉफी दे दो, सीधा ट्रॉफी दे दो.
It's one game, bro. Chill. We
I
can
know,
win
but
this game and still have other games that we have to win. I'm scared for Afghanistan also, but that's for another day. But yeah. For now, I think we need to win this game somehow. Just make 180 runs, then we'll see.
मतलब आज के मैच में 11 प्लेयर्स नहीं, हम लोग के ओपोनेंट 12 प्लेयर्स है.
It's Kettlebro is the biggest threat right now. One of that, tell me, I think we've spoken a lot about our batting, forgetting the fact कि हम लोग को मतलब I don't know what should be a good total considering the recent World T20 का trend in the first innings.
Everything is low scoring, but then to be on the safer side, we should cross at least 175 because uske niche kuch bhi, it's like it's easy for them considering there will be due, right? So 175 plus anything will be bonus, but then we should reach that 175 line.
Naresh, the way we say कि 170 चाहिए, but the way we have batted 6 over में 40 for no loss. Do you really think we need to massively change our approach to get to that total?
If you see the trend, what we have seen in Dubai or in this World Cup, the power play more or less is deciding the fate of the teams, especially the team batting first. Our fate was decided last Sunday, to be honest. We were 6 for 2. We need to play out the power play. And honestly, if Rohit and Ishan can't play Trent Bolt, who else would play Trent Bolt? Let's be very honest about that. So we need to play out the power play and then regroup what is the best target we want to set. But those 6 overs is going to be very, very critical because we are going to play a left arm seamer, and that is where I feel Ishan opening could work in our favor as a left hander.
मतलब नरेश, यू टॉक्ड अबाउट ट्रेंट बोल्ट। एक दो वीक्स पहले हम लोग खुश थे कि ट्रेंट बोल्ट बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं और अभी मुझे ऐसे समझ रहे हैं कि आहान और वरना का क्या फील करते रहेंगे एज एन आरसीबी एंड डीसी फैन।
नहीं, उसने कमेंट किया he very closely saw how Shaheen Afridi was bowling, and Shaheen Afridi was the only one pitching it at the right place in that entire game last Sunday, and he got the results. If Bolt is going to try that, he may succeed or he may really go a lot of runs, because Mitchell Stark yesterday gave a lot of runs trying that. So, it's a very fine line between where you need to pitch it and where it is short.
Ahan, you want to say something?
Yeah, I genuinely think, see, now today, since they said that Kishan is opening, that means one of the two openers is going to be moved away from there. I genuinely think what India should consider doing is moving Rohit Sharma out from opening, let Rahul and Kishan open and use Rohit. Because see, Rohit against left arm seam in the beginning is not a good matchup, and also he's not really good at starting against leg spin. So I think India should look at the matchups that they have and use Rohit in the sense that after like the 13th, 14th over, once they're done with Sandna and Sodhi, they should send Rohit in to destroy pace at the end, because then he'll be fine. The ball won't move; it'll come in straight lines, and he can use his power. I think if they send him in at like 3 or 4, it could be disastrous, because then there'll be Sodhi and Sandna bowling already. So I think they should use him very tactically today. And because I think if you have to move one of the two, I'd move Rohit out of the opening position, not Rahul. Because I think Rahul and Kishan, if they get going, can kill any team like that they play against.
Totally agree with that. I think Ishan and KL would be the main key in today's game. I think they're fearless. I think that's what we need in the T20 format. Ki yaar, attack karo. Obviously, save your wickets. Don't just give away a wicket. Yeah, but then I remember in IPL as well, Rohit Sharma used to try to save his wickets so that 13, 14 ke baad he can just unleash his batting prowess. So that might be the approach today, and hopefully that happens as well. Varnata, which batsman are you really looking forward to? Yaar, you have to take the charge today.
I think that should be openers, and considering openers Ishan Kishan का ये पहला match होगा, तो I will go with Rohit Sharma. I think we need to get a good opening, and even seeing Ishan Kishan's batting order, I think he cannot fit in anywhere, because he doesn't play, like he plays at number 4, but he wasn't clicking at number 4. But if you see in these kind of matches, like the last match pressure, I don't think Ishan Kishan can play well. So it's a good move that he's opening for us right now, and maybe he can score some good runs in power play. So for me, it will be the openers who will be the key for today.
So the problem with this is कि हम लोग अभी directly post match में मिलेंगे इसके बाद, so we don't really get to talk about the opposite thing, like our bowling and their batting. First question to, let's say, Naresh, you tell me, उनके batting में opening is going to be really tricky. Like we have to really get them out. Which bowler do you think is going to pick their wickets?
See, you have to start with Bumrah. You need to go all out in this game, because that's going to even set the trend for the remaining of the games. What happened in the last game, opening with Shami and Bhuvi, I felt was not right. You had to go with your best bowlers. Start with Bumrah, because Martin Guptill is going to be the main guy to start with. And yes, they have Williamson and Conway. अगर 2-3 विकेट, जैसे हम बोल रहे हैं पावर प्ले, अगर पावर प्ले में वो 2 या 3 विकेट जल्दी निकाल दें, so Bumrah will play a very important role. He needs to start up with the new ball.
Okay, Ahan, हम लोग अभी बॉलर्स की बात कर रहे हैं. So according to you, न्यूजीलैंड के यहाँ से कौन थ्रेट रहेगा as a batsman?
I think, yeah, as Naresh said, I think Guptill, big threat. That's why I actually think India should start with Bumrah and Chakravarti as the first 2 overs, because Guptill hasn't played Chakravarti, nor has Mitchell if he opens the batting. Kane has played him, so I don't think the matchup really works. So if you get Chakravarti to get the early wicket, and you can use one Bumrah over, And then, therefore, we need to get Guptill out. Because if you look at that team actually today, they've dropped a wicket-keeper batsman for a bowler. So they've got Santner batting at 7, which is quite high. And out of the top 6, there's like Darryl Mitchell and Neesham, who are all-rounders who are not really like established bat. They are playing arguably 3 or 4 proper batsmen. So I think if we can get a couple of wickets early, we're definitely in the game. I think we need 165, 170. Also, big news, which Kunal is very smiling about. Hardik is bowling. He's marking his run-ups. So God knows, I hope he doesn't break down one ball and he comes bowls. Suddenly his leg
But
starts hurting.
Kunal, what happened? I feel even last Sunday he was fit to bowl, but he got an injury on the shoulder while batting when the ball hit him. And and this is where we are carrying that risk of a sixth bowler or even someone who's a seventh bowler, which most of the teams are having those options. We continue to carry the risk, but hope today we come off good, because even Varun Chakravarti we know is not 100% fit. Even if he's fit, we know he's an average fielder. So these are the things that I'm sure has been considered before finalizing the playing 11. So.
There's actually, I had a question for you. When it comes to our bowling, you mentioned what we should do and should not do. Anand also mentioned it. But what trick did we miss against Pakistan? Like 0 wickets was a humiliating loss. What could we have done differently? Was it the kaun se bowler ko kabhi over dena hai, or the bowlers that we picked? Someone like Ashwin and Shardul could have been in.
See, again, Bumrah has to open, which didn't happen in the last game. Second is I think they read us much better. And as I said, the only bowler who bowled the right line was Shaheen Afridi to get something from the wicket or from the conditions. All the bowlers were a little bit short. Even Indian bowlers did not pick it up from how Afridi was bowling. So that's the first miss. Second, you can't take a risk in such a big game with going with only 5 bowlers, but probably we are going with the fact that Hardik was fit, but then he got injured. Other thing was Ashwin and Varun Chakravarti both playing together in the 11 is causing a big issue in the field, because both are average fielders, let's be honest, for T20. So, that is something which is going to always be in the mind. How do you hide those fielders? You can't have a third man and fine leg also now, because the kind of switch hits you get from batsmen. So I think the movie shouldn't have started, to be honest. We needed Shardul Thakur to start off right away. Because Shami and Bumrah and Bhuvi together, somewhere it feels that our attack is very similar. We don't have variety.
Okay. Vanatha, tell me one thing. When it comes to our bowling, which are you more excited to watch the spinners or the pacers? Because I just feel Jadeja and Varun really have to step up today, pick those wickets, and add more pressure in the middle.
Yeah, so Jadeja, he's like always one of our key bowlers. When it comes to fielding or bowling, he always does that wonders. Like those direct hits which we see almost in every match, those are a treat to eyes. So one will be Jadeja, and other one I'll go with Bumrah, because Bumrah has been doing good for Mumbai Indians, and I hope he does the same for India, which we did not see in the last match. But hopefully we pick some good wickets today, early wickets today, and we win the match.
Okay. So आज ना थोड़ा हम लोग क्वेश्चन ट्विस्ट करते हैं और पूछते हैं कि आज सेंचुरी कौन बनाएगा. We all know the answer.
So I think let's ask a better question. Anyway, we are nearing the end of the show. I'll start off with Naresh. What's your prediction for the first innings total? What do you want, but what do you expect? कि ये prediction है, मतलब इतना ही जाएगा.
Would like to see the openers do well. If they play out the power play, we are getting a big score. And I think Ishan may be a trump card. He's coming in this game. He may be a trump card for India.
Yeah. Ahan? What
I actually think it depends heavily on who opens with Kishan. Because I think if we open Kishan and Rahul, it also gives them the added like mind space of, Rohit is also there behind us, Kohli is also there behind us. So your mind is also free, like so many big players are coming, then you can play freely. So if those two open, I'd say we're on for 175. And if Rohit opens, then I'd say 160.
15 run निकाल दिए, dude. Come on.
But I feel that 154 last Sunday was also a good total. It's just that we didn't bowl well. 160 can be defended, and we may be able to do well if we just get our length right. So
also, Naresh, what's your ideal opening partnership? Ishan obviously.
Oh yeah, that's the question. Everyone should say who is going to open.
Yeah, what's your ideal opening partnership? Ishan has been confirmed by Virat anyway, so
Yeah, so I'll go with Ishan and Rohit because KL is, as I said, he's in great form. So any position he is going to play with the same mindset, you know.
okay, interesting.
Okay, Vanata.
Ahan, you already answered it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Vanata.
Vanata.
For me, it's Rohit and Ishan, and opening partnership should be 50 at least.
Okay, opening partnership 50
Okay.
in how many balls?
6 overs में पहले तो 50 बना लो.
6 overs.
बाद में ना wickets, don't lose the
Don't-
wickets, and then Virat का century नहीं आएगा आज because he is batting at number 4, so it's not possible today. Maybe Ishan can do that job because I think he is the lucky charm today for us. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's going to be the best player for India.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess ईशान एंड रोहित ओपनिंग में मेरे हिसाब से बिकॉज अभी उन लोग ने आईपीएल भी खेला और उन लोग का पार्टनरशिप है तो दे नो हाउ ईच अदर प्ले सो आई गेस वो मेरे हिसाब
I think that will be the approach of Indian team as well. क्योंकि KL has an image कि वो किसी भी position में खेल सकता है. With that approach, they'll probably fit him somewhere number 4 or 5, which I don't agree with. I agree with Ahan when it comes to कि KL and Ishan have to start off with a mindset कि आगे कोहली है, आगे रोहित है वगैरह. Ahan, you want to add something?
I also just hope that whatever they do, whoever's not opening, Kohli has to bat at 3. Kohli cannot bat lower than 3. You don't put him at 4. Please, it'll destroy everything. Just let him bat at 3. Whoever's not opening, put them at 4 or lower. And also, you have to play the matchups today because actually the good thing about Kishan is he's left-handed. And so now we have 2 left-handers we can play with. So if Kishan is going up top to play Bolt and all,
I'll add Jadeja as a
Jadeja
finisher.
also, Jadeja also. So we can use them in our matchups against because both their spinners turn it into the left-hander. So we need to use our matchups in those 8 overs. Pant versus Sandner, Sodhi, and Jadeja also has to go against Sandner and Sodhi because those are the matchups we have to play. Our 2 right-handers in the mid, like Kohli and Rohit, are not great starting against spin. So I think we need to really play the matchups today.
Absolutely agree with that. This was really good talking to you. Also, make sure you guys create your Paytm First Games team as well. You still have 5 more minutes left. So we'll take your leave right now. Thank you so much for joining Vanata, Ahan, and Naresh. Thank you so much, Sanika. And
Good luck. Let's have a good game.
yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Let's hope we'll be smiling by the end of this match as well. Thanks a lot. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.